Good morning, parents. Today is a big day at Smart Kidz. We are going to be releasing our video trilogy of children and vandalism and the effects that it causes. We were very fortunate to be able to do this series, and it was brought to you by the Port Alberni Kinsmen, who through their generosity allowed us to make these videos with some very important people. As well as myself, we have Constable Nicole Hall, who is the new community liaison officer in Comox Valley. We're also honored to have Mayor Phelps from Courtenay also along on one of the videos to explain how it impacts the community. What we want to do is try and teach kids vandalism is not a victimless crime, that there are consequences for their actions, and that it's something that they really don't want to get involved in. I would like to share something with you parents that are listening at the moment. It is the end of June. Summer holidays are upon us. Your children are getting out of school. They're going to have much more free time, much more unsupervised time. You need to know what they're doing at all times and who they're hanging out with. The one thing that you do not need over the course of the summer is losing precious time going to court because they've been out busting lights, breaking windows, or tagging buildings. It's 6 months into the year, and we have talked to thousands and thousands of students through our seminars. And believe it or not, there is a large contingent, 75% of them, who believe that vandalism is an absolutely victimless crime. When we explain the effects that it has on their community and the reputation of the community, they seem mildly interested. But when we get down to how it's going to affect their lives if they're caught or they're charged with vandalism, instantly they become very interested because they didn't realize how it would affect them. They didn't realize what a criminal record can do. They didn't realize they'd have to spend a day in court. They didn't realize that their parents would have to take a day off to accompany them to court. They have no concept of reimbursement, no concept of what punishments can happen to them. They have no idea about community service and what that may entail. They have no idea about fines. They don't know who's going to pay for it or even think about that. And most of all, they don't even think about vacation time, which can affect their lives as well. If they want to go on vacation with mom and dad on spring break next year and they have a criminal record, guess what? They're not going to Disneyland. They're staying at grandma's house because they will be stopped at the border because they have a criminal record. Even at the age of 14, it is up to the customs officer to let them on the plane or not. So please, take the time to watch these videos with them. Ask them questions about what I have said. Ask them questions about what Constable Nicole Hall has said. And ask some questions about what Mayor Phelps has said. Your kids need to know they don't have to follow along with the crowd. They can make up their own minds about what they want to do. They don't have to be cool. If they're hanging out with friends and they decide to go and tag a building or bust some lights or break some windows or snap some trees, they need to know that they can walk away from that. So sit down and talk to them. Explain to them how it's going to affect their lives, even if the school that they pick. Because if they have a criminal record, perhaps they're not going to the university that they want to go to. It affects their lives tremendously. Please take the time to sit down and explain that to them. Now let's take a quick look at what happened on June 15th, downtown Vancouver, and the rioting that happened there. Extreme mob mentality. They destroyed the downtown core. There were kids involved who are under the age of 16. Vancouver Police Chief Jim Chu described how he was on his way into the city at noon and found 3 16-year-olds drunk. And the questions he asked during his press conference the day afterwards were, where were their parents? How come they were out of school? The kids did not volunteer any answers. Ultimately, they ended up in jail and their parents had to come and pick them up. Now, there were kids who rioted, hundreds of them, during that evening, but there were even more kids who didn't participate at all. They realized what was happening, didn't want to be a part of it, and got out of there. Those are the smart kids. Those are the kids that have parents who have talked to them about what can happen if they break the law. The smarter person walks away from vandalism because it isn't a victimless crime. I'd like to thank Smart Kidz directors for their help putting this together. I'd also like to thank the Port Alberni Kinsmen. Fabulous group. We love you. Thank you.